Test. Test. All right. And here we go with Up North Hockey. We have District 12 action coming live. We have the Virginia Mountain Iron Buell Blue Devils against the Ely Wolves Peewee District 12 tournament. This is the first matchup between these two for the tournament. The first game was International Falls against Greenway, where Greenway came out with the victory. So Greenway advances to play Hibbing Chisholm at 4 o'clock. The winner of this game will advance to play Eveleth in the semifinals. All right, and we are ready for a face-off here. Virginia Blue Devils in white, Ely in red. All right, and here we go. Virginia winning the face-off and getting it into their zone. And we'll get an offsides. Face-off coming outside the zone is Owen Merlt. Up to 14. John Westby with Eveleth, or Virginia. Here goes Westby. Gets it into the zone. Taken off the puck for Ely is William Forsberg. Westby back into the zone and taken away by 15 of Ely. All right, and puck dumps all the way down into the Virginia zone for an icing, and the faceoff will come back into the Ely zone.
All right. Jay Hildebrand, Randy Catron bringing you live action here from the Hibbing Memorial Arena. Thanks, Jay, for filling in with me as I'm trying to do the post-game interview for the last game, Greenway Raiders, and had some issues with logging back into Instagram, but got back in on there, so we're good to go there. Sent back around the back of the net. The Timberwolves moving it back in. It's tipped back in and taken away by Ryland Sandy now. Sandy brings it out to center and fired in by the Wolves and sent in by number 12, Hunter Hallbakken. Sending it back in here. And back behind the net, the Blue Devils pick it up. Sent out by Wyatt Frederick, moving it up to center and moving it out now is number 11, Jackson Bardovich, and breaking in there was Gavin Harley, had a chance there. Harley out front of the net. And now it's picked up by Les Leeson of the Wolves, brings it out to center. And now the Blue Devils touch it, and it's offside as a call. And now it's brought out. The Blue Devils send it wide of the net by Bielke. Now it's held in by the Blue Devils here. Back in the boards is Odmondson. Odmondson, shot, goal! Odmondson got to Virginia on the board first here early in this game. 12:09 to play. Actually, the goal coming to number 9. Colton Bielke is going to get that goal.
Yeah, nice quick wrister by Colton. Finding the back of the net, getting the early lead for Virginia, making it 1-0 Virginia over the Timberwolves with 12 minutes remaining in the first period. So
2:51 into the period. Goal coming for Colton Bielke. Moving out through center and back in on the Virginia Nutminder. Played ahead by Peyton Parks. Moving it out, moved it out, and trying to move it ahead. The Blue Devils, and tip back in by Bartovich. Back behind the net now is Westby. Westby going back to the point. Sent in shot. Gets blocked down. That's number 28. Yeah. Tyler Woodenich back on the point here for the Blue Devils. Moved ahead by Cope Robinson. And now over on the other side is Bartovich. Bartovich moving it back in here. Bartovich centers out front. Shot, goal. Bartovich, I think, is going to get credit with that one here.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking for the pass, but I think it went off the goalie's skate and found the way to the back of the net. 2 quick goals for Virginia here now. One from Bielke and one from Bartovich. So, and just for people that just joining us, we are going to be doing the Peewee hockey games here in the District 12 tournament. We did the first matchup between International Falls and Greenway. Greenway coming out victorious for that one. They will take on Hibbing at 4 o'clock. And now the first game in the other bracket is the Virginia-Ely game here. The winner will go on to Eveleth-Gilbert-Mesabi East game at 6 p.m. So the winner will be televised tonight at 6 p.m. on our station.
Yeah, right here on our YouTube channel. So please spread the word for those watching that 6 o'clock game tonight so we can get as many people watching our broadcast. And also, please feel free to send a shout-out message in where you're watching the game from, and we'll try to give you a shout-out during our broadcast here today as well. And now back over on the side, picked up by Frederick. Frederick moving it ahead and touched at center, played by Leeson. And now it's moved back in by the Blue Devils. Sent in Sadness, sent it towards the center of the ring. Sadness along the boards, centering out front for number 9, Bielke. And he just couldn't get the shot away. A little backhander played in the zone by Nichols. Keeping in Nichols behind the net. Nichols tips it in! I think it might have gone off the goalie's pad. And the Blue Devils have a 3-0 lead here.
Yeah, another one where just putting shots on net, good things happen. And Virginia's finding that out early on in this game.
So Trace Nichols with that goal for the Blue Devils. That goal coming at 4 minutes and 48 seconds into the period. Or 4:42 is the time of that goal.
These teams have played twice this year so far, with Virginia being victorious with a 13-1 score, and then the other game was a 6-0 score. So this is the third matchup of the season for these two teams.
Back over on the point, Woodenich trying to hold it in here for the Blue Devils, and coming out with it now is Hulkenbach. Hulkenbach with a shot, goal! Wrister for Hulkenbach, and he got Ely on the board for the first time today.
Yeah, nice shot. Right over the right side of the goalie. Blocker side. Really big goal for Ely here. It seemed like Virginia was going to ride away really quick on it, but Ely able to get one and see if we can get some momentum coming the other way. Again.
Ely breaking in as they looking to put on some pressure after this first goal for them. Back in the corner, picked up by Parks, and Parks moves it out, but it's going to be held in now by Sandy. Sandy sends it in, shot on, big save by the Virginia goaltender. Which I don't have him on my roster here, Jay. 31. I don't know who the goalie is here.
I'll look that up for you, Randy. Here.
I don't think I wrote it down for some reason. Wyatt Jonason, right?
Oh, for Virginia, yes. Yes.
Wyatt Jonason is the goaltender for the Blue Devils. Sorry about that. As it's along the boards and held in by Hulkenbach. Hulkenbach's got that goal for the Timberwolves here in that first period. 3-1 Virginia over Ely. 8:44 to play here in period. Bardovich working it back into the Ely end. Now it's moved in by Harley. Harley with a shot on, bouncing puck in front. Ends up behind the net and it's picked up by Hulkenbach. Hulkenbach moves it back out to center ice. And now the Blue Devils turn it back in with Frederick. Frederick working it back in. Shot gets blocked down. Doesn't get through traffic. Ely is going to come out with it out to center and fire it in for an icing.
Yeah, and Ely opting to go with the Peewee A team this year. Typically, they've been doing the Peewee B schedule, and this year they're opting up to try the Peewee A schedule out. So good to see them in the Peewee A district here.
And it is moved out to center ice. The Timberwolves bring it out, and it's turned back in here now by the Blue Devils, Westby. Westby moving to the front center of the ice here. Westby trying to make a play. Just lost the puck off the front of his stick. Bruner sends a shot on, tip out front. Number 9, Colton Bielke out there. Bielke behind the net, centering it. Out front, little backhander in front for Cope Robinson. Cope Robinson shot on. Block. Goaltender makes a save with his pad. And it's going back at Frederick at center ice now. Frederick moving it back in. And the Timberwolves will pick this up and fire it out. Now moving it as a Leeson. Leeson moving in. Leeson cross ice in front of the net. Had a chance. Blue Devils come out with it now. Moving out is Cope Robinson. Cope Robinson trying to get around the D. Cope makes a shot there. And behind the net, Cope Robinson. Now centering it out front. Ely doing a good job closing down that passing lane. Back to the point, back to Wudenich. Wudenich sending it in. Shot on by Carter Sadness for the Blue Devils.
Ely's goalie having to step up big here in the first period, getting 8 shots on net already for Virginia. Ely's gotten 3 shots on net so far this game.
Lewis Paul, the Ely goaltender today. And comes out to center ice. Virginia will have to retreat in. Peyton Parks. Parks sending it in and knocked out by Ozzie Anderson, but that's going to be offside.
No delayed offsides here in Peewee hockey. That starts at the Bantam level, so
right. Some different rules, different rules in the Peewee level here.
Yeah, and right away, I think the rule got changed about 4 or 5 years ago, where even icing now on a power play, you cannot ice the puck down. I think they try to what youth hockey was trying to do. I think is penalize the team that got the penalty a little more, so you're not able just to fling it down.
And moving in was Bardovich, and shot ends up in the corner, fired out by the Timberwolves and out of play. Yeah, that you talk about youth hockey having that icing, Jay, and what an advantage that can be in the high school level. You think back at when Grand Rapids was playing against Eden Prairie in that semifinal game that year they won the state tournament. Eden Prairie got a penalty, got a power play with less than 2 minutes to go, and they just put tons of pressure on Grand Rapids. They were able to ice the puck, and that was the difference in that game.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Eden Prairie could have easily. I mean, they had a chance to tie it up at the end, just off the goal pipe there.
Yeah, that hit the corner and then straight back out. So the ref was right there to see it and waved it off with confidence. So I think he was there to see that.
Breaking in right out front, great chance for number 10, Evan Leeson, and his shot just couldn't get to the back of the net. Leeson had a chance there. Now moving out back is Forsberg. Forsberg sending it back in. Shot on. And a save by goaltender Wyatt Jonason. Ely starting to put on a little more pressure. 3-1 our score. Virginia over Ely. 5:08 to play here in the first period of play.
Took Ely a little time to warm up, but it seems to be a back and forth game now. They're doing a good job getting some zone time.
And the Blue Devils bringing it back in with Cope Robinson. Cope Robinson goes over to Bardovich. Bardovich now with it, working around the zone. And now it's moved out by Merriman, I believe. And now Bardovich picks it up, and he's going to take it down. First penalty of the game coming up, and it'll be a Blue Devil power play.
Yeah, Bardovich getting a step up on Ely and forcing the tripping call. See what Virginia can do on the first power play of the game.
And the draw won by Sadness, sends it back to point, and now it's Harley over in the side and held in by Parks. Now the Timberwolves move it back out to center, picked up by Parks. Now taken away, short-handed. Here comes Ely. Shot goes wide of the net in front. That was, I believe, Lency had a chance there for the Timberwolves. Now boot back away is Harley. Harley skating in. Harley works it and loses it to Sandy. Sandy moves it out and in. It's going to be offside as a call.
Yeah, minute 22 left in the power play for Virginia. Sure, they're looking to get in the zone, get some setup, and get some zone time on this power play.
And now the Timberwolves will move it back in with Leeson. And now Cope Robinson picks it up. And penalty is coming up against the Blue Devils. As they'll touch it here. No, it's not a penalty. Penalty against Ely here, I think.
Yeah, Ely brought it in, so.
Okay.
But then Virginia touched it as well.
Yeah, so firing it out, sent back in for the Blue Devils as Westby sending in. Westby behind the net now. Virginia's got the extra attacker out there. Westby sending it back to Frederick on the point. Frederick sends a shot in, gets blocked down. And now it's picked up by Bardovich. Bardovich around the back of the net. Bardovich going over on the other side is behind the net. Now picked up by Cope Robinson. Robinson going back to Frederick over on point on the other side, top of the circle. And shot by number 9, Colton Bielke. And now we will get the penalty called.
Yeah, I think we'll see what the call was here.
Tripping was a call
Tripping?
on that one.
Yeah, I think, Randy, in that situation, you kind of want to let Ely touch it right away because you already have a one man down. You'd rather be up 5-on-3 versus 5-on-4. So
right.
Typically, I would say learning lesson for these kids is in that situation, let the other team touch it, go on the 5-on-3.
Bardovich sending it over to Frederick, back to Bardovich, back to Frederick. Frederick pulls a shot in, gets blocked down. I think the goaltender got maybe a little bit of a piece of it, and it's Frederick now behind the net. Frederick's got Cope Robinson out front. Frederick wraps around and puts it home here for the Blue Devils on this power play.
Yes, indeed, and luckily for Ely, it happened just seconds after the one penalty expired. So then the second person in the box will also be able to come out here. So we'll be back to 5-on-5 play with Virginia up 4-1.
12-16 into the period. Virginia goal by Wyatt Frederick, making it. And now the Timberwolves pick it up and move back in by Forsberg. Sends it backhanded back in by Majerus. Majerus along the boards now. Majerus sends it back to the point, but it is taken away by Carter Sadness. And now held back in by the Timberwolves. Shot on from the point, and a save by Wyatt Jonason. 21 with a shot, Ryland Sandy back on the other side there for the Timberwolves.
Bridget sending in a message thanking us for doing a heck of a job, and we appreciate the comments. And if anybody else is out there wants a comment, go ahead and message us and let us know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see different states possibly where we're being streamed at.
Forsberg working it back in. Forsberg wheeling around the zone, sends it back over to Sandy, into Forsberg. Forsberg along the boards out front. 15 Majerus out there, sends it back in the corner and picked up by Parks. Parks knocks it across over on the side of Wudenich, and Wudenich work it out to center. And now it's picked up by the Timberwolves and moved back in by Hallbakken. Hallbakken loses it, and now it's picked up by Bardovich. Bardovich with some separation. Bardovich with a shot, goes wide of the net. Great chance for Jackson Bardovich there. Got a minute 30 to go here in period number 1. Virginia with a 4-1 lead over Ely. Back over on the side, sent by Frederick over to Bardovich. And now moved out by Sandy. Sandy going across ice, just missing his forward there, Merriman, and the icing is the call.
And Randy, it's always interesting in different tournaments to see the bracket play, and I think total advantage with Ely coming up now, making it 6 teams, 2 people get a bye, and that's the difference between second place and third place. This third place, Virginia, has to play a game and then later on play the second place team. So I think Big Ice definitely advantage to the second place team versus the third place, having to play this extra game in the morning.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good point, Jay, to bring that up here. And moved back in by the Timberwolves. Number 13, Marolt, with a shot on. Got less than a minute to go. 49 seconds there to go period number 1. And that is Gavin Harley now bringing out here. Harley going across in and skating into the net. Harley just off the, I believe it might have caught the top crossbar there.
I think it was.
Some of these shots are hard to see where they if they actually hit the net or not, because they kind of float over. Some of them kind of just float over the top of the net here.
Yes, a couple crossbars for Virginia already in this game. So 23 seconds left in the first period. Shots on goal were 13 for Virginia and 7 for Ely. Virginia up 4-1.
Bardovich is going to go back to the point to Parks, and Parks shot on, and a save by Lewis Paul. Again, thanks for joining us. We will have all the coverage here from the Hibbing Memorial Arena, the championship round. Will all be live streamed here on Up North Hockey all weekend long. We will not have any of the play over at the Hibbing Fairgrounds Arena, unfortunately, due to the streaming challenges that lie within.
Yeah, we did a Virginia Hibbing game, Peewee game over there a couple weeks ago, and we struggled. The internet connection was not the best for us, so we learned we will just be covering the Memorial Building games, which will consist of 2 more games after this one, the 4 o'clock game, Hibbing Greenway, and the 6 o'clock game, the winner of this game, versus Evelyn Gilbert Mesabi East. The winner of those 2 tournament action, the champion will move on to regions as well as the second place team. So this year, Randy, the district is taking 3 out of our district. It varies every year. It varies on which district are in the regions, and it varies how many we send. So this year we'll be sending 3. The top 3 teams will go on, and then we will be joining District 15 and District 16 in the regions. The regional tournament for this district will be over in Virginia next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend. So, close, another close spot, just fairly close for, a lot of these area teams, being in Virginia. That'll be the last year that'll be held at the Miners Memorial Arena. Copapetti, boy, I'm butchering that, at the Virginia Miners Memorial Building. It'll be the last year as they'll be in their brand new arena starting next season.
Yeah, that's exciting. I'll kind of miss the old Virginia back rink. We in youth hockey, you get to play back there quite a bit, and that's one of the coldest rinks around. Is that Virginia back arena?
Yeah, I went in there one time, I think, when they were having some scrimmages, high school scrimmages last season, and it's cold. It's cold in there.
Yeah, I learned the first game. I just wore regular shoes going in there, and it was cold outside, but it was about 10 degrees colder inside, and made it through the game, but couldn't feel my feet for the next couple hours.
Recapping the scoring here in the first period, Colton Bielke with the first goal for the Blue Devils, that coming at 2:51. Jackson Bardovich got the second at 3:47 of the period, and then Virginia makes it 3-0 at that time. Trace Nichols got the goal. Ely comes back and gets one late in that first period, coming from Hunter Hulkenbach to make it 3-1, and then the Blue Devils get a power play goal late in the period, 12:16 into the period by Wyatt Frederick to make it 4-1. And moving in, shot right off the bat by Gavin Harley, and a big save by Paul. Paul with another save. Harley had a chance in front. Now it's kept in by Odmundson. Odmundson going over Frederick, holds it in here for the Blue Devils. Frederick moving it back in, and going back to Bardovich. Now Harley with it. Harley is tipped back in by the Timberwolves. Back in the corner, picked up by Harley. Harley shot on Paul. Paul with the save there. And now it comes out as dumped back in by Frederick. Frederick and the shot on.
Take one.
And moved in. Shot out. Harley had a chance out front of the net. And the Timberwolves able to come out with it. Virginia putting on some pressure here early on in this second period of play. And that's going to be an icing as the call with 13:54 to play.
And a shout out. I misread. Randy, my eyes aren't the same. Boomer Dimberio texting in, thanking us for doing the job we're doing. Watching from Virginia as his son's on the Bantam A team playing today. And also a shout out to Michael Galley watching it from his house. He'll be spending a couple weeks in his house here. So he's able to watch some of the games too. He'll be able to watch his brother play later on today.
Yeah, thanks for sending that message in, Michael Galley. Of course, we should say Captain Michael Galley.
Yes.
We'll talk about that if we get a chance to. I want to certainly talk about that today as well, if I get a chance today.
Yes, well, definitely a great kid.
Peyton Parks working out to center ice and moving back in. Colton Bielke. Bielke, shot, goal! Upper shelf goal! And Bielke's got his second of the game.
What a move. What a great play. Great shot. He maybe he can credit some of his brothers for teaching him a little bit. He's got some older brothers playing on the varsity JV, and then one is off in college. So great kid, great family. Watched a lot of the Bielkes growing up through the program.
That goal coming at 1:33 for Colton Bielke to make it 5-1 here for the Blue Devils. Second period. Fired in and offside is the call.
And just for any new viewers, Randy, checking in with Peewee Hockey, just so they know, you've been doing this a couple years. We talked about it last game, but I'll mention it again because it's a big shout out and thank you to you. You've been doing a lot of live streaming for the past 2 years and did a lot of high school games this year. And especially this year, people not able to get in the arenas. We thank you very much for doing all this. And I talked you into coming and doing some of the Peewee action too. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Jay. We've had a lot of fun. Blake Mortenson's done Blake Mortenson and I started streaming games last year, and both him and I have done tons of games. We were all over the state of Minnesota last year covering games on our YouTube channel. We were all the way over to East Grand Forks, Minnesota last year for a game between East Grand Forks, St. Cloud Cathedral. That was late in the season. We went up to Warroad for the big matchup between Roseau and Warroad. We traveled up there. That was during the week, so last year was a very busy year. This year has been busy as well, but we've been more locally due to the due to COVID here.
Yeah, and if people don't know, Randy, you do this out of just the pure love for hockey, and we appreciate that. You do not get paid for this, so this is just out of your generosity in helping others being able to watch the game. So, and a shout out to you, and if people want to, if you're first-time viewers and you want to Venmo in some money to help keep this going through the tournament and everything, you have a Venmo account listed on your Facebook account. And viewers can send in money to help offset some of the costs with traveling and everything for you.
Yeah, it's on Facebook and Instagram, and also we have a brand new website. We'll talk about that too as well. That was designed by shot on, and right shot goes in for Caden Odmondson. Moving in here for the Blue Devils, good shot there, making it 6-1 here.
Great teamwork, great passing for Virginia. They're seeming to take control of the second period so far. The score is 6-1, 12 minutes remaining in the second. Virginia getting quite a bit of zone time in the last period and the start of this one. Shots on goal, 22 for Virginia and 7 for Ely. We'll see if Ely can come back and answer some of these goals.
And moving around in the corner by Trace Nichols. Nichols over in the corner there, and now Ely picks it up and held back in by Frederick. Frederick holding it back in. Back to get it in the corner is Carter Sadness. Now coming around, trying to wrap it around in front was Sadness there. Over on the other side, Bardovich. Bardovich controlling and comes out in front of the net. And we get a whistle stoppage of play here. A penalty coming up against the Timberwolves here. So Virginia going back to the power play. 11:25 to go here. Second period of play, 6-1. Virginia over Ely.
And after the first game, Randy, we went out and interviewed some of the Greenway players after they were victorious over the International Falls team, and you posted that as well, so you can watch some of the interviews from some of the Peewee players. We'll try to get some more after each game.
Yeah, and that we posted on our Facebook and Instagram accounts. Facebook Up North Hockey, and our Instagram is official Up North Hockey. So yeah, we'll try to post that player interviews after this game as well here. Moving around over to Woodenich. Woodenich sent it back to the point and sent in. No, it's picked up by Odmondson. Odmondson sends it back to the point, and a blast in there from number 28. That's Woodenich. Woodenich sending it in and trying to clear it out as Forsberg. He's going to knock it out, and this is going to be an icing with 10:38 to go. Yeah, our brand new website this year was created by Jamison Geisler and 90 Degree Media. We want to thank them, Jamison and his staff for building our brand new website. Check them out today at 90degreemedia.com. On our website, you will find our previously streamed games, our streaming schedule, our weekly rankings, and social media links. And also we have that donation link there. And we want to thank everybody for making donations this year to Up North Hockey. It's been greatly appreciated. And this year with COVID and everything going on, it's just been truly heartwarming to see all the support that we've received through donations. And moving back in is Colt Robinson. Robinson shot is off the blocker and up out of play.
Great shot, but what a save. Ely's goaltender definitely getting a workout so far in the first half of this game and doing a great job in nets.
Mark sending a message from Phoenix, Arizona. They said, great job, Mark and Jan Jonason sending in and watching their grandson, which I would assume would be the goaltender, Wyatt Jonason. And thank you for that shout out all the way from Phoenix, Arizona. That's the first one that we've had from out of state, I believe, today.
Yeah, it's always fun. We did a lot of high school games together here, Randy, and it's always fun to see where people are watching from. We've had a lot of grandparents from sunnier places than Minnesota here, so yeah. A lot of Arizona, Florida. We even had we had out of country last night.
We had Texas. We had Texas, and then we had where was the game? or where were they watching from? Japan or something like that?
Yeah, it was cross seas somewhere. So
It was
yeah, it was fun.
overseas. Yeah, that was the first one of the season for us.
Africa.
Africa. That's what it was.
Yes.
All the way from Africa, watching a high school game between Virginia and Hibbing. I mean, think about that. Anywhere you can get a YouTube stream, anywhere you have a stream.
So we'll see what Ely can do on a power play for 2 minutes here.
Yeah, Ely certainly needed it.
Number 15, Caden Amundsen, is going to go in the box. 2 minutes for, I believe, checking. Yes, checking. My son Isaac is reffing, so making the call.
Michael Galley sending in a message. Thanks for the shout out earlier, Randy. You will be missed around here. I appreciate that shout out, Michael.
Yes, and if viewers don't know, Randy, you announced it the other day that you are moving out of the state. So unfortunately, our time together with Up North Hockey is coming closer to an end. But we really appreciate everything you've done and wish you the best of luck in your move down to Atlanta.
Yeah, down to Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm going to have to see if I can get involved with maybe hockey down there as well. They have hockey, but certainly not to the level of Minnesota hockey.
Yeah, it's tough to beat the passion of these players with the Minnesota hockey.
Shot gets sent in just wide of the net. Shot in by Ryland Sandy. The Ely has a minute 18 left on this power play. And now it's tipped back in by the Timberwolves, and it's picked up by Hulkenbach. Hulkenbach making a move now. Hulkenbach to the front of the net. His shot, backhander, just goes wide of the net. Picked up by Parks now behind the net. Parks working it, and now it's brought out by Odmondson. Taken away by the Timberwolves, moving it back into Sandy. Shot gets fired into the corner by Hulkenbach. And now Woodenich and Ely moving it back in. Shot over the top of the net by Zemke from the point. 42 seconds left on this power play for the Timberwolves. 7:58 to go here. Second period. 6-1 Blue Devils. Now it's Zemke. Zemke at center. And it's moved out by Woodenich. Back into the Timberwolves end. It's picked up by Leeson. Leeson now with it. Leeson cross ice going over to Majuris. Majuris works into Forsberg. Forsberg's shot goes wide of the net. Now over on the other side is Leeson sending it in. A little backhander out by Frederick. Frederick has this. 4 seconds left on that power play for the Timberwolves. Frederick knocks it into the corner. Both teams are back at full strength. Frederick has it. Frederick working it out, has breaking in front of the net was Odmondson. Nice defense by the Timberwolves in there. Number 16 in there, Merriman. And now Frederick and Merriman working for that puck. And in there to help out is Odmondson now. Odmondson has it. Odmondson working it out. Trying to get to the center of the rink and dump out to the Timberwolves. Frederick back in his own end to pick this up. Frederick sending it up to Bardovich. Bardovich going back in here. Bardovich trying to make a move in, sending over to Nichols. Nichols shot! Blocked down, never got through traffic there. Nice chance for Nichols. Held in by Parks now. Parks along the boards. And now it's picked up by Bardovich. Now Ely's going to work it back out to center where it's going to be picked up and moved back in by Pipkin. Sending it back into the Timberwolves end. And we're going to get a stoppage of play here with 6:14 to go. 6-1 Virginia over Ely in the second period.
Also a shout out to Allison Bielke sending a thank you. She's the Bielke's torn in different directions, going for different ways with their children. So people able to watch their son or daughter out here when they have to travel with the other siblings.
Yeah, that's a nice thing too about this. Is, if you're at another district tournament, you're able to watch your siblings play here, and we appreciate the shout out, Allison. Glad we could be here to do the game. Sending a shot in by Westby there, and a shot on goal. So at the end of the period here, we'll. I want to give Michael Galley a little shout out here at the end of the period. So if viewers, if you could just stay with us for that, that would be greatly appreciated. Michael Galley's an incredible young man, and he's done something pretty incredible, and I want to talk about that. Shot on and a goal. Yes. They're saying number 19, Carter Sadness, going to get the 7th Virginia goal here. That kind of just trickled in at the end there.
Yeah, he did. I thought the goalie had it, but just slid right behind him, and it crossed the line by inches. So, Randy, with this Virginia Peewee team here, we covered the last game between Hibbing Virginia varsity game on Thursday, and one of the most exciting games of the year for me to announce with you. It was a great game. It ended up Hibbing winning by 1 with Joey Allison scoring in the last 2 minutes of the game to win the IRC championship for Hibbing with the varsity team. That was a fun game to do.
Oh, my God. Definitely our biggest game of the year, and shot gets placed in by the number 12, Hunter Hulkenbach, for the Timberwolves. Yeah, that was a big game. I mean, it was intense. 3-1 after 2 periods. Blue Jackets were in control, but Virginia kind of battled. They kind of hung with them the whole game long.
Yeah, Flatley.
And then Flatley had those 2 big goals in that third period to tie the game up, and it was. I'm thinking, this could certainly be overtime. And Joey Allison ended up getting that goal late, but for the Blue Jackets. But what a game! Hats off to both Virginia, Mountain Iron Buell, and Hibbing Chisholm on a great played game. My last varsity boys hockey game, and what a finale that was.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, you couldn't have written a script any better with that game to finalize your up north hockey career up here.
And like I said, if we could, figure out something how I can do a game from Atlanta, Georgia, and still maybe join for 1 or 2 games during next year, that would be kind of cool to be able to do that.
Yeah, we'll have to get you in remotely, and I'll do the camera, and you can do the announcing remote.
Right. Moving back in is the Timberwolves, and just fired into behind the net, and it's picked up by Bruner. Bruner now with it, and it comes out to center, and moving back in is Bielke. Bielke through center, and we got 4:22 here to let go in our second period of play. And in there was Harley trying to keep it in. And cross ice over to Bruner. Bruner sending it over to Woodnich and sending it back in. I want to say Harley's dad, right? He's a doctor with Essentia, right?
That I don't know.
I can't think of his first name. I think Harley.
If you want to send something in and let us know on that.
Yeah. Unless it was Harvey. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
Yes.
I think it was Harvey.
Yes.
Yeah, not Harvey, not Harley. So 3:50 to play here in our second period of play. Blue Devils with the 7-1 lead over the Timberwolves in our District 12 Peewee A hockey tournament from Hibbing, Minnesota. And offside is a call. Again, score 7-1. Virginia over Ely. 3:42 to play here, second period. And moving it back in is Westby. Westby back in. Westby centers it out front. Takes a shot on. And goaltender Lewis Paul is going to make the save there. Shots 28-10 in favor of the Blue Devils here in this game so far. And fired behind the net, and it's picked up by Ely. They're going to move it out. It's held in by Frederick. Now it's picked up by Marolt. Marolt comes out to center, and moving back in is Pipkin. Pipkin's along the boards here. And now it is picked up by Bardovich along the blue line, and it's moved out by Marolt now, touching it. And it is Pipkin sending it back in for the Blue Devils. Fired out by Forsberg. Comes out to center. It's picked up by Frederick. Frederick working it back in. Frederick's shot gets blocker save into the corner, and it's picked up by Cope Robinson. Cope Robinson now behind the net. Working in for Bardovich. Bardovich going over to Frederick. Frederick in. Frederick working into the front of the middle of the ice, but Pipkin, and his shot just ends up in the corner as Cope Robinson picks it up. Or that was Westby out front. I'm sorry. Westby now with it. And now it's tipped out by Marolt. Now the Blue Devils move it back in with Frederick. Back over to Westby. Westby's shot gets moved out here on the backhand. Now it's picked up by Frederick. Going across over to Parks. Parks moving into Cope Robinson. Cope Robinson over to Westby. Westby's shot on and a save by Paul.
Great puck movement by Virginia. They're kind of getting a lot of zone time here. Shots on goal are 30 for Virginia, 10 for Ely. The goalie for Ely is definitely getting a workout, and he's doing a good job.
And this is the Timberwolves moving it out. And picked up by Nichols, moves it back in here. Nichols getting over to Bielke in front. Nichols now with it. Nichols centering it out front. And the Timberwolves able to move out with Lency. Lency sends it ahead. And we got a penalty coming up here. Ely going back to the power play.
Yeah, I believe Tyler Woodnich is going to come off for either interference or checking. We'll see what the call is. But either way, it's 2 minutes power play for Ely. And hopefully he can get something going here late in the second. Minute and a half left to go in the second period.
Woodinich is
checking is the call.
Going off, so Timberwolves getting in Hulkenbach. Hulkenbach's shot just goes wide of the net. Ely tips it in with Sandy. Now in front as the Blue Devils will move it around by Pipkin. Send it back in for Harley now. It's Gavin Harley through center ice. And now move it back in. Zemke takes it away here. Zemke coming in here on the power play for the Timberwolves. Zemke backhander in front to Hulkenbach. Hulkenbach trying to get a shot in there. And a save by goaltender Wyatt Jonason.
Wyatt's brother was a goalie for Hibbing Chisholm youth hockey all the way up until a couple years ago. So brother probably convinced his younger brother to be a goalie as well. Goalie coach here sitting next to us. He's at most of the games here too, trying to help these goalies get through their career and help them through.
And this is back over on the other side. Leeson in the corner. And now it is picked up by Jesse Bruner. Bruner with it. Going back to Carter Sadness. Sadness now with it. And Sadness will come out to center ice, and he'll move it back in. Sadness in, trying to make a move, and Sadness shot just goes off the front of his stick there. And held in by Nichols, back in the corner. Nichols now with it. Nichols controlled, defended on the play by Merriman. And Frederick sends a shot on just off the goal pipe and into the corner. Got 6 seconds left here in the period. And that's going to do it here for period number 2. Virginia getting 3 goals in that second period. Goal at 1 minute and 33 seconds from number 9, Colton Bielke, his second of the game. And then number 15, Caden Odmondson with a goal at 2 minutes and 57 seconds into the period. And then number 19, Carter Sadness, gets the second goal of the game, coming in at 9:30 into the into the second period there. So after 2 periods of play, it is Virginia 7 and Ely 1 after 2 periods complete. Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to Michael Galley. Michael Galley is a senior on the Hibbing Chisholm boys hockey team. He's played hockey a good majority of his life, and unfortunately not able to play this year due to an eye eye injury or eye issue. He was able to play in one game and able to get out there and play some time here. But it's a tough break. Not even play your senior year, but he was able to be part of the team as a manager. And last spring, Michael Galley, almost a year ago, or a little bit more than a year ago, he got his FAA pilot's license.
At the age of 18.
Which is huge.
Yes.
Yeah, he was, he wasn't even 18.
Yes,
he was 17 at the time.
Yes.
So last spring, I was able to go up flying with Michael Galley, and we're talking about once he gets his contacts and gets everything squared with his eyes. We'll go back up here. Before I move to Atlanta, but what an incredible young man. He's going to be going to Grand Forks, the University of North Dakota, and he's going to be going for aviation over there. And he's a very safe pilot. He was very thorough on his checkpoint, and he was very thorough on what to do in a case of emergency. Watch out for traffic that's flying around in the area. It was an incredible experience to go flying with him. And he knew, like, we flew over Hibbing and we flew over the mines here in Hibbing and all the mines areas. And he knew different points along our flight path to point out. It was a joy and just an honor to fly with him.
Yeah. And what an opportunity for you to get to go up with Michael. And Michael and my son are in the same class. And last year, he took Isaac up as well and brought him all around. So great experience for Michael to get his pilot's license at such a young age, and then to share it and take other people up and show them around.
And then your son, of course, was a manager on this team for the Hibbing Chisholm boys hockey team as well. Isaac and Michael together, managers helping out.
Yeah.
And they're both going to be going to the University of North Dakota.
They will. They'll be going out there together. It's always nice to have a friend when you go to college to call and hang out and stuff like that. So, yeah, both of them will be going out there. Isaac as well played hockey all the way up with Michael, and unfortunately blew his knee out young at second-year Bantam. So he's kept in the program. He coached with Aaron Jaminik for a couple years with Bantams, and then Aaron and Eric, the head coach, Rewerts, asked him to be a part of the team this year, too, for the senior year. So great opportunity for him, even though he couldn't play, and another great opportunity for Michael. Even though you can't play, you're still around with your friends, and you helped him get to this point, so it's always nice to be included with that. So more of a family atmosphere with that team.
And, I also shout out to Isaac. Isaac helped us out this year as well. He helped me with one game last year, and then he helped with some games this year on Up North Hockey, filming and doing some color commentary, so we certainly appreciate that. But, shout out to both of Michael Galley and Isaac Hildebrand. Just two incredible young men with certainly bright futures, and going to be exciting to see where they both end up after their college careers at the University of North Dakota. Of course, Michael Galley, could end up in the military, or he could end up with commercial aviation. Who knows? But certainly the future is bright for both of them.
Yeah, and Randy, you followed a lot. It's got to be a good feeling to see these kids grow up and watch them and see what they do.
Yeah, a lot of these kids now with the high school program now, I've known a lot of those kids since Peewees, all the way through. So I think back to when I started doing radio with Doug back in the 2006, 2007 season. That's the first year I did radio with Doug, and I did that all the way through. I mean, I've done that all the way through the last couple years. Not as much because I've been doing the live streaming, but with Doug Dietrich on WNFG, I've seen a lot of kids come through this program, and you see them come in as freshmen, and some you've known them since Peewees, and then you see them graduate. It's like you watch these kids grow up through the program.
Yeah, it's definitely, and it's such a great atmosphere up in northern Minnesota for hockey, and to go to different arenas and see the different venues. There's nothing better than waiting for winter just to get into the hockey season. This year, it's postponed a little bit, so we're into March now already and still playing hockey. We'll be going towards some of these teams to the end of March, with state being in 2 weeks, regions next week. So, in getting back to that a little bit too, this district is going to take 3 teams to go to regions. So the top 2 teams will play tomorrow at 2 o'clock to get the number 1 and number 2 seed. But then in the lower bracket, the teams that are at the fairgrounds will play off for that number 3 seed, and they'll also get a chance to go into regions and try to make it to state the following weekend. State will be down in Monticello in 2 weekends. Regions next week in Virginia.
Yeah, so certainly three very busy weekends of youth hockey coming up here. Michael Galley sending the message. Thank you very much to myself and Jay. He really appreciates it, and he says we'll definitely have to go up again soon as he can get it back up flying. Michael Galley, thanks for sending that message in, and we'll take a couple minute break here. Unless you have any final thoughts before we go to break here, Jay.
No, we can. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with third period action. Score: Virginia 7, Ely 1.
The Rick Sports Grill in Eveleth offers casual family dining in a hockey-themed atmosphere. Try one of their daily specials or your favorites from the menu. The Rick Sports Grill offers 8 large-screen TVs and 2 10-foot projection screens, so you never have to miss a minute of the game. The Rick also offers large and small group seating with meeting areas available. Full menu, limited menu, or buffet, they can cater your event, party, or meeting. That's the Rick Sports Grill at 301 Hattrick Avenue in Evelyn. Check them out today. Stop by Iron Range Apparel for all your Minnesota-themed clothing and home decor. Located in the Thunderbird Mall in Virginia, Iron Range Apparel offers lake cabin and home decor along with a large variety of apparel. Grab a hockey hoodie for the rink or a winter hat for the cold Minnesota weather. Iron Range Apparel also offers wholesale pricing and custom screen printing. Find them on Facebook and Instagram or shop online at ironrange.shop, and good luck to all the players. Minnesota Twist Drill is a proud sponsor of Up North Hockey and wish best of luck to all players on the season ahead and to have fun. For all your heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration needs in the Grand Rapids area, call Tony from Anthony's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Refrigeration at 218-256-1092 or find them on Facebook at Anthony's Heating, AC, and Refrigeration, LLC. G&B Environmental specializes in proactive air and water filtration services, HVAC coil protection, cotton one screen insulation for cooling units, UV light air purification systems, and electrostatic or visit gbenvironmental.com. Winnie Trading Post is your one-stop shop on the way to the lake. Located 12 miles north of Deer River on Highway 46 by Lake Winnebagosh, Winnie Trading Post offers gas, food, bait, propane, and everything in between. Find them on Facebook by searching Winnie Trading Post or stop by on your next trip to the lake. To make a donation to Up North Hockey, go to Venmo and search Up North-Hockey. That's Up North-Hockey. We appreciate any donations to support our live streaming service. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the Hibbing Memorial Arena for the Minnesota Hockey District 12 Peewee Hockey Tournament. After 2 periods of play, it's Virginia 7 and Ely 1. We're back with you for third period action as both teams are back out on the ice. We appreciate you all joining our broadcast here today on Up North Hockey. Of course, don't forget we will have a game at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Greenway and Hibbing coming up at 4 o'clock, and then we'll have the 6 o'clock game with the winner of this game against Eveleth Gilbert Masabi East. That at 6 o'clock. Isaiah Hildebrand stepping in here on the microphone. Isaiah, how's your afternoon going so far here today?
Pretty good. Good to watch some hockey. Yeah.
Virginia looking pretty good here in this game here today, Isaiah.
Oh yeah, they're just pounding Ely. Just shots on net. Ely goalie's playing pretty good, but not much you can do.
Yeah, Virginia certainly putting on the pressure here today in this game. Hopefully Ely can get something going here in this third period of play as the Timberwolves moving it back in. It's moved out now by the Blue Devils, and back in is Sadness shot just goes wide of the net. Back over in the corner, Nichols dumps it back in, picked up by Sadness. And now it is coming out to center ice where Pipkin has it. Moving it back in. And fired out by the Timberwolves. Now it's picked up by Frederick. Frederick moving it back in. Frederick to the backhand. Shot on! Nice save by goaltender Lewis Paul. Another big save for him in the game. As sent in back on the point as the Timberwolves control, and now it's picked up by Bardovich. Bardovich back behind the net. Bardovich working around. Bardovich going out, going back to the point. Shot gets sent in by Pipkin. Back into Sadness. Sadness now with it. Sadness trying to make a play. Nice defensive play in front by Marolt of the Timberwolves. Gets him out. And Pipkin controlling it back over to Frederick. Frederick moves it ahead to Bardovich. And now moving out is Forsberg. Forsberg moving it back in. Forsberg trying to get around the D. Forsberg going to the backhand in front. And just couldn't get a shot away there. Forsberg had a nice chance there. Now it's moved out by the Blue Devils. Moved back out by Oddments and sent in to the Timberwolves. Moved out, but Anderson tips it and picked up by Woodnich. Woodnich going across ice over in the center, over to Zemke. Zemke will moving it back in as the Blue Devils send it back in. This is going to be no icing on the play. Waved off, and it's back in there as Parks. Parks centering it out front, trying to get in front for Odmondson, who was out front, and tipped back in by Bruner. Now the Timberwolves moving it back out as Lency. And now touched, but in offside. Well, close start in this third period. We have running time as long as the 6-goal differential continues here.
Yeah, that was a good shift for Elia. Had a chance, but couldn't bury it.
Cope Robinson picks it up, and now it's picked up by Woodnich. Woodnich sending it back over, trying to get it over to Parks. Taken away by the Timberwolves. Lency moves it back out. And now it's turned back the other way by Cope Robinson. Cope Robinson along the boards goes back over to Westby. Westby in for Peyton Parks, and a shot doesn't get through. Peyton Parks picks it up here again and sends a shot, and Lewis Paul's going to hold on to this one. Again, stay tuned for our Facebook and Instagram social media sites. We will have the post-game interviews with players from the winning team between Virginia and Ely here today. We'll be posting those later on today after the conclusion of the game. Peyton Parks, and it is picked up over on the other side as the Timberwolves move it out, but it is going to be an icing is going to be the call. Again, our next game is at 4 o'clock today. Isaiah, you're going to be part of that. Hibbing and Greenway, 4 o'clock today here.
Yeah, can't wait.
Always kind of a challenge for a player, a Saturday, right? You got to wait 2 games. You play the third game of the day, and I don't know if that's an advantage or disadvantage, having to sit around all day and wait.
Just get anxious to play.
Right. You want to go, and you're geared up and ready to go, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like this, it's that format like the state tournament. Kind of wait until your turn.
Yep.
Moving it back in as the Blue Devils send it over the top of the net with Colton Bielke. And now Sadness back in there. Sadness centering in front for Cope Robinson. His shot just goes wide of the net. Nice chance for Cope Robinson. Now it's tipped out as Sean Merriman tips it out here for the Timberwolves. Lency now in. Lency trying to make a move in. Lency shot on. Odmondson, saved by Jonason. Jonason with that save. And now it's behind the net. Picked up by Pipkin. Pipkin moving it ahead. Up to Sadness. Out to center. Now moving in as Bielke. Bielke with a shot right on. And comes out to center. 9:51 to play here in the third period of play. Virginia with the 7-1 lead. Nice warm day. It doesn't feel like late in the season. We got a nice warm day. It just doesn't feel like there should be hockey going on, right?
Yeah. It's pretty warm outside. Sunny.
But nice spring-like weather here for our district tournament in Hibbing.
Looks like there's a penalty here.
Yeah, Virginia will be going back to the PK for the next 2 minutes here. 9:05 and counting in this third period.
Let's see if Ely can get one here. That'd be huge for them.
Yeah, they need to get something going here, and a power play goal would definitely be a huge deal for them.
Yep.
Back behind the net is Forsberg. Forsberg coming out front, just off the blocker behind the net. Forsberg trying to get to another chance at it, and it's moved out by Bardovich. Bardovich coming out here. And Comes out to center, moving it back in as Leeson. Moving Leeson back to Forsberg. Forsberg on the other side. And back in for Wudenich. Wudenich behind the net now. Wudenich working it over to Majerus is trying to come out with it here for the Timberwolves. Now it's moved out by Wudenich. Backhand. Forsberg holds it in. Forsberg's shot just goes wide of the net. Now it comes out to center. Moving back in is Zemke. And he loses control and fired out by Wudenich of the Blue Devils. 44 seconds left on this power play for the Timberwolves here. Moving it back in is Leeson. Leeson shot on and a save by Jonason.
Couple good chances there by Ely. Couldn't finish though.
Rob Spuller sending in a message to his brothers watching from Vancouver, British Columbia. So we appreciate Rob, your brother watching here, all the way from out of the country. And moving around back on the point, Nico Lindsay in there. Lindsay with it. Lindsay gets it to Hulkenbach. Hulkenbach, Lindsay in front. Another chance. Doesn't get through, but good chance for the Timberwolves there. Both teams are back at full strength. Moving around is Frederick. Frederick moving it back in and touched now by Pipkin. He'll send it out, and it's moved ahead by Westby. Westby moving it up to Cope Robinson. And back behind the net is picked up now by Sandy. Sandy moving it around here. Now Cope Robinson. And fired back in by Peyton Parks. Now it's picked up by Cope Robinson. Shot, goal! Upper shelf goal. What a shot there.
Yep, good shot.
That's Cope Robinson's first goal of the game to make it 8-1. Time of that goal will be I think it was about 9:58 left in the period there when he got or 9:02 left in the period, or 9:02 into the period, I'm sorry. Sadness sends a shot over the top of the net as I stumbled through my way through that time with that goal. As Forsberg trying to back out and picking up as held in now by Wudenich. In front and a little tip in. Trace Nichols is going to get credited with this goal, I believe.
Yep, good tip. Not much you can do about that one as the goalie of Ely. Redirections can be hard.
9:53 time of that goal. And that goal coming for Trace Nichols. His second of the game. Three players from Virginia with multiple points in this game. And breaking in is Hulkenbach. And Hulkenbach just off the goalie's blocker. Hulkenbach has got that Ely goal back in the first period. And he had a chance to get his second of the game. Moving back the other way comes the Blue Devils. And then it's Harley. Harley with a shot just over the top of the net. Back behind the net is knocked in the corner by Ozzie Anderson. Anderson trying to move it out here is held in by Frederick, but it comes out to center with Lency. Nico Lency touching it, and now Majerus sends it back in. Back the other way is Bardovich. Bardovich working back out, has Harley in the middle of the ice. Bardovich over to Harley, and a good save by Lewis Paul there.
Yeah, definitely a good save. If he wouldn't have got that one, Virginia had had a wide open net.
And we get a whistle stoppage of play. High stick is the call with 3:23 to play in our game. 9-1, Virginia over Ely. in our second game of the District 12 Peewee hockey tournament here at Hibbing. Again, we will have coverage of all the championship round games held here at the Hibbing Memorial Arena. Fortunately, not able to cover the third place game because that will be played at the fairgrounds, and that's been a challenge with their Wi-Fi this year over there. So unfortunately, all the just championship round games we will have here. The 4 today and then the 1 championship tomorrow. And that is tomorrow at 2 o'clock at the Hibbing Memorial Arena. And sent back in by Cope Robinson. Cope Robinson going to the middle to Bertovich. And shot on, loose puck in front. Bertovich trying to tip one in here late in the period. Bertovich, and now the Timberwolves will come out with it. Knocked ahead by Lenzi. And now turned back the other way by Bruner. Comes out to center, moving it back in at Westby. Westby in there. Nice defense on the play by the Timberwolves. Breaking up that play. In there was Ryland Sandy. And now it is back. It's held back in. Forsberg sends a shot in. Gets blocked down and comes out to center ice. Now moving it around is Bruner. Bruner moving it back into Bartovich. Bartovich sends it back in the corner. And now it's picked up by Cope Robinson. We've got 1:44 to play here. Cope Robinson trying to go to the center of the rink. And Forsberg fires it out here for Ely. Frederick back around, and Frederick picks this up and moves it back out to center ice. Move to Sadness. Sadness moving it back in. Sadness send it over on the side of Bielke. Shot on, save by Paul. Paul's had some big saves here in this game. Faced 37 shots so far. And back in as sent in by the Blue Devils, Pipkin from the point. Gets blocked in front and trying to whack it out of the zone with Sandy. Firing it out, and in front for Nichols, and a little shot from Sadness. Sadness now with it. And now the Timberwolves will move it out. And they'll come out and send it over to Frederick. Frederick now with it. We've got less than a minute to go here. 42 seconds to go here. Third period. Moving it back in for the Blue Devils. Number 9, Colton Bielke in front. Bielke backhands it. Back behind the net. Picked up by Nichols. And now it is along the boards. Held in. As it comes out to center ice. And moving it back in is Merriman. And center moves it back into the Blue Devils end. 12 seconds to go. Wyatt Frederick sends it ahead to Trace Nichols. Now Frederick back in. Virginia is going to move on to the next game. Of course, Virginia will be advancing. They'll play Eveleth Gilbert Masabi East at 6 o'clock. Ely will continue play over at the Hibbing Fairgrounds Arena. That game at 10 a.m. Tomorrow morning at the fairgrounds. So a big game here for the Blue Devils, Isaiah.
Yeah. Always good to get that first game win. Go in the winner's bracket. So
2 goals coming in that third period. A goal from Nolan Cope Robinson. That goal coming at 7:58 into the period, or 9:02 of the period. And then at 9:53 into that third period, Colton Bielke gets his second of the game at 9:53, and that made our final score 9-1 for Virginia over Ely. So Virginia moving on. Play Eveleth Gilbert Masabi East. We'll see what happens in that one coming up here at 6 o'clock tonight. Don't forget, we will have live coverage of that game as well tonight. What do you feel on that matchup?
I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think it's going to be a very close game. So who comes to play, I think that's going to be a deciding factor.
Don't forget, we will post our player interviews following this game on our Facebook and Instagram pages. And again, we will have coverage. Our next game is going to be at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Make sure that you tuned in to our YouTube channel. Up North Hockey YouTube, we will have that game on at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Probably come on 15 minutes earlier or so, about 3:45. That's Hibbing Chisholm versus Greenway. And then at 6 o'clock tonight, we will have live coverage of Virginia and Eveleth Gilbert Mesabi East. Make sure you join us for that one as well at 6 o'clock. For Jay Hildenbrand, Isaiah Hildenbrand, I'm Randy Catron saying good afternoon from the Hibbing Memorial Arena. Join us at 4 o'clock today for Hibbing Chisholm and Greenway. This is the District 12 Minnesota Hockey Peewee A Hockey Tournament here in Hibbing. Final score today, 9-1, Virginia. Mount Iron Buell over Ely in our second game. Good afternoon, everyone.